What's up, guys? Welcome to the SoundCentric podcast. I'm Samuel Sarfo.
I'm Adam Dash.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the support. Today, we have a very special guest. I mean, when we first started this podcast, right, he was one of the first artists we discovered, and he has been showing tremendous talent ever since we met him, and he's been ride or die ever since we started. We're so honored to have him. It's been well overdue. Please, guys, give it a warm welcome to Andrew Kelly. It's been well overdue, my guy. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going, y'all, man? It's a pleasure, dude, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so, This is a pleasure, man. I'm really excited to be here, so.
Yeah, another St. Louis MC that we're obsessed with, so we're excited to have you on. So our tradition on the show is starting out with our playlist title of the week, just because it's usually time for me and Sam to recap our week. So we can go first, and then you can hop in. But Sam, what is your playlist title and song of the week?
So this has been inspired by a lot of events. Also, just seeing Andrew's tweets about Melly Mel. The playlist title is going to be Flowers, because obviously it seems like in music in general, there's been a problem of people not giving flowers to artists while they're here until they pass away and they miss that opportunity. The single for that playlist is going to be Many Men Wish Death Upon Me, because there's been a lot of hating. That Melly Mel video came out. I saw the Eminem one first, right? And that was just the first one. And then the Kendrick one leaked. So there was a Tribe one. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, and then the Lil Wayne one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. This guy's just a certified hater.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I think for this week, because I'm not sure if we're doing an episode next week, because I'm on spring break from school. So we're going to go spring break title, because I'm going to Mexico, and we'll go Big Pimpin', because I'm trying to be on a yacht.
Sir.
I'm trying to be like them on the Cayman Islands. But
he's been on a Jay-Z grind recently. Honestly, it's been mad annoying. All he's been listening to is Jay-Z. And
so I
don't think Jay-Z's the GOAT, but
he's the GOAT. But I have really obscure takes on him since I'm listening to it now, not knowing how the reception was back then. So I listened to Volume 3 and I text Sam. I'm like, this is so much better than Volume 2. And he's like, yo, that's the most hated album by Jay-Z. And I'm like, shit, I didn't even know that. But now that you got some time to think about it over, what is your playlist title of the week? How we feeling?
Ooh, let's see here.
Putting you on the spot.
All right. I'm gonna say Clarity is gonna be the title. Because I've had a week of a lot of discovering within myself, and therapy and everything. So that's kind of been like, the overshadow of my week. And I'm going to say the song that we're going to choose is Few Good Things by Saba. I think that'll be the title song to it.
Yep.
Great underappreciated album.
Very much so.
I missed him on tour by one day. I left school and he performed in Columbus the next day. I was pissed.
The title song, love that shit, man.
So first off, obviously, congrats on your album. It's incredible. Me and Sam were discussing this. Not to say you found your voice, because you have so much more to grow as an artist, but you found what you've done really well, and you do things with the vocal inflections and your ability to say certain things that it's with the swagger of your voice that you're able to say them, versus if I were to say maybe the vasectomy line or shit like that. But a big thing for artists that they always tell independent artists is that it's easier to create with a team. So recently, your past couple albums, you've been working with Stix a lot. So what is that experience working with one person on the beats versus maybe going to YouTube to get beats, or maybe working just with a bunch of producers?
Man, it's the first word that comes to my head would be easier. It's clear cut. We have our sound that we've built together. We've been working together, I'm say like a year and a half now. And we've built just this very elegant sound, I think. One of a kind sound. Now that we both got to this point where we both hear the sound that we're moving towards as we work, I think it's just become such a sixth sense, just working together. Like we're just peanut butter and jelly type thing. In the past, I've dropped a lot of projects, full of different producers and everything. And I think the benefit of having one producer for me would be just like everything is more coherent now. You can tell that it's just one producer, one artist. It's not the so and so and so and so production all over the album. I feel like everything's coming to fruition for us, as a team, rather than just two different separate artists. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
yeah, it's much easier. I enjoy it heavily. So
Yeah. And just to validate your point, it does sound like that, man. It does sound like you guys are creating your own sound. I know, obviously, we talked about this earlier, how Lil Wayne was your influence, but it seriously sounds like you have your own sound, your own voice. And a lot of artists, when they start out, have trouble to find their direction. How should they sound like? For you, man, you sound like you know exactly what you want to do and exactly, exactly want to know how you want to sound. And like you said before, that one-on-one relationship with a producer, you don't see that as much anymore these days. Back then you had one producer, one rapper, and nowadays just a multitude of different rappers and producers on an album. But do you think that it's a lot easier for you to work with one producer? I know you kind of said that earlier, but is it a lot more easy to work with you with just one producer, or eventually in the future, do you think you want to maybe expand?
yeah, it's definitely way easier, way just chill. I like to just
Hmm.
enjoy making music, and
Hmm.
I don't want to have to sit here and go through a million beat packs from a million different producers
Yeah.
to do so. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
just to have that, and like I can literally send them a sample, and
Hmm.
it'll be like, all right, fucking 4 hours later, he'll have this crazy chopped up beat, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, okay, here we go. That's literally how that's damned if I don't, like, so
Hmm.
many different samples up in there.
Yep.
And yeah, man, it's so much easier. But yeah, I definitely plan. There's definitely some producers that like I watch pretty heavily, like on Twitter, TikTok, and whatnot. And they just got this really, really different artistic sound, and I would love to work with them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I'll ever like make another project where there's like 10 different producers on it or anything like that. I kind of want to keep it um, to us, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when it comes to collaborations on the album, so we were just discussing before we started rolling, but Fuse has been on almost all of your albums. And Fuse, if you watch this, we want you to drop the music because you're apparently
Please.
you're hoarding the music. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have a whole collab album with Nick and Nagby. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he comes back on the album.
No,
So
that's
what's
right.
your process of picking the right feature for the right song? And then second part of that question, what was it like making a collab album with a rapper?
Okay, that's a good question. So how I pick my features, I do listen, like, anytime my peers drop music, like I do listen like heavily, like I'll listen to it a few times, and majority of the songs will make my playlist, so I hear them on my day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And it's artists like Nick, Deanie, Deanie, who's on a lot of my stuff,
Hmm.
Fuse, these artists that I hear a lot. They just inspire me so much. Like, it's hard it's hard making music with somebody that you don't feel like, you know I don't want to sound like conceited or anything, but like up to par, like bar
Yeah.
wise, like just rapping wise. You know what I'm saying? um and rapping with these guys, it's like rapping with my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are just such sick MCs, like they just crazy talented people. And I'll hear a beat, like Stix will send me a beat or something, and immediately come to my head. I'm like, oh my god, like I can definitely hear Nick on this, like 100%. And I'll immediately text him, be like, yo, I'm planning to make this song. I can hear you on it. Just let me do all my stuff, and then I'm gonna send it to you after the rough draft, and so on and so forth. And it's always just one of those things. Like, I just hear them on the beat, and I reach out, and obviously it's a lock every time. So
Yep.
yeah, and making a collab album with another artist, um, it was very easy going. Me and Nick work well together because he's on. I don't know if anybody's picked up on it, but he's on the outro of all my projects, besides Kelly.
Hmm.
He's on the outro of every single project I have. It's like a little thing we got going
Yeah.
on.
Why? Is there any specific reason for that, or just going with tradition at this point?
We just started doing it. Like I put him on Joy, and he was the last song, and then after that it was Chum, and he was on the last song on that, and then ever since that we're like, oh, okay, like this is a thing that we're doing. So yeah, it was really easy going. There was points where it wasn't easy because like, you know, we have different visions, but at the same time we have the same end goal. So it's like, you know, we hit our bumps in the road, but for the most part, I would say we worked really good, like close together. Obviously he's from New York and I'm from Missouri, so there's only so much we could do, but yeah, we did the best we could, and I think it turned out great. Nick's my guy. Shout out him. So is Fuse. All those guys, my brothers in this shit. So
yeah, and you got Stix rapping on this album. Sound like baby.
Yeah, that got me excited.
I told you, you sound like Babyface Ray. I love his voice.
Dude, that ad lib too is like because the song was like him tweaking, right? But the middle of the song is like, wait, is that Stix rapping? Bro, I was dying.
Yeah. Well, there was no feature on it, so I'm like, I actually was thinking, is this Stix rapping? Then he said it. I'm like, oh shit, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. I'm gonna say that was the funnest song to make on the
I bet.
Obviously,
it sounded
there's a
like
lot
it.
of weird bars and stuff.
You know, he's hilarious.
Out there, but man, we had such a good time making that. We FaceTimed the whole time, both of us recording the whole thing, and
he's got a cool accent.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I wouldn't have said Minnesota. I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought it was like a southern one.
Nah, yeah, he doesn't sound like he's from Minnesota at all. It's funny.
Yeah,
he snapped though.
Yeah, and dude, that's what makes me so happy for you, that you're enjoying this process. You know, there's so many times where any creative, where they make a certain amount of work, it gets to a point where they're not having fun anymore. You hear all the time, like, I'm not having fun, you get burnt out, whatever. But even when you know you're putting out quality, and even when the numbers aren't getting to where you want them to be, you're still having fun. You're still enjoying yourself, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, 100%, man. I preach that constantly on Twitter. Obviously, I've caught some hate for it because it's like, oh, you don't want to be famous, and you know, what are you doing? Why are you putting out music, getting in the way of everybody? But it's like, man, like, obviously, it'd be cool, like, to blow up and whatnot. But I didn't start making music when I was 10 years old just to get famous. I did it because I love rap music. Like, I love the shit, and I envy rappers. So, like, why wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just fun. You know, like, what are you doing if you're not having fun? I don't want it to ever turn into, like, if I was to blow up, I don't want it to turn into just a job. Like, I don't want to be like, okay, you have to do 5 albums in this deal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't want to ever get to that point. If I was to ever blow up, I would 100% want to be indie. I'm not interested in signing to anybody. I do this shit for me, honestly. And me putting out my first album was really just a trial. Like, I didn't plan on, putting out anything after that. It was like, I'm just going to put out this album. And it was fun to make a whole year process with the homies in the studio. Really fun. I didn't have any big plans. I just wanted to put it out and see if people liked it, and they did. And ever since then, like, it's kind of a high, to make something that you enjoy making and for other people to enjoy it. It was kind of a high, and so.
Yeah.
I feel you have an excellent mindset on that, and it's the same mindset that me and Sam have to come in with this every day, that we just love talking about music, and if one person listens to the podcast, that means one person gave a shit what we had to say about music.
Right.
And it's the same thing when it comes to us making music, so I think that's like, it's fun to do. You can't focus on like the disappointments or comparing yourself, and especially like say for us, we're posting TikToks from our podcast, and your whole feed might be everything is 100,000 likes, million views, and ours gets 1,000 views, and it's like it's little compared to that. But 1,000 people watch this video and chose to argue in our comment section about the stuff.
100%, 100%, man. It's the small victories that count, man. Like, even just having like 10 plus people comment on something, like, that's a small victory. Like, so like that. I mean, if we didn't have social media and anything, we wouldn't even be able to be doing this stuff. We would just be making music or talking about music just in general with a friend with no microphones or anything. Like, if we didn't have any of this social media, would we still be doing it? Like, that's like the whole,
Yeah.
do you love this shit or anything like that? But yeah, dude, it's what are you doing if you're not having fun? Literally.
And I think you
Yep.
said very maturely yesterday, you tweeted this about how your friends aren't going to be the ones who are the biggest supporters of you because your friends grew up with you and see you as Andrew. And maybe everyone on Twitter sees you as Drew Kelly, so they're going to be the ones who are randomly supporting you. So, like, what was the process of getting, like, because one thing to think that mindset, but to really internalize it and not be mad that your friend growing up, who doesn't even say like rap music, isn't like bumping your tape and spreading it around. How did you finally get to that mindset, and how do you use that to keep yourself focused?
So what sparked that? Obviously, it's always been a thing for me, not having friends in real life that really support. Like, so going back, before I even had any recording equipment or anything, I had a pretty big friend group, and everybody always gassed me up, like at parties and stuff. Yo, rap, like you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. And it was like, confidence booster and whatnot. Like, it was fun and shit. But as I grew up, I had kids, work full time, school, all this shit. I just kind of like parted ways with all my friends. Like, they would all support me back then, but now it's like, whatever. Like, I use Facebook for like family reasons and like seeing all my old friends on there and stuff. Like, I don't correlate that with my music, but anytime I do drop, I do put it on Facebook. Nobody. Like, nobody. So I got to a point, I would say like a year ago or something, because it was always weighing on me. And like, I even got in a fight with a friend about it. Like, man, it's kind of fucked up. You don't support me, blah, blah, blah. And, looking back, it was embarrassing of me to do that, because none of these people see me as an artist. They, whenever they would support me rapping back then, it was just because it was like cool, fun, like we're at a party, blah, blah, like you're really good at rapping, so, rap. But now that I'm taking it more serious, I guess, nobody from my area besides a chosen few support me. So I kind of got to a point where I was like, is it me? Or is it everybody else? Because like, I'm the common denominator in all of it. Like, are these people viewing me different from these people? Like, what's going on? So yeah, that's what it is. Like, I built I don't want to say persona because it's me, on Twitter, this personality and everything, Andrew Kelly, Drew Kelly, whatever. And that's what everybody sees me as. Everybody sees me as that artist, or the guy that tweets funny tweets, or just stuff like that. You build a personality. But then you got your friends and family that, this is Andrew Hardman, just the regular ass, Joe Schmo guy, that's in our lives. That rap's good. But, I don't ever want to get mad at anybody ever again for like not supporting, because it's nobody's obligation to. So
Yeah, and that's not something you're alone in. Even with SoundCentric, I noticed the same thing. Like, we're promoting stuff, and in the beginning they're on, but over time you kind of realize that it kind of pissed me off because I had friends, right? They would be like, "Yo, Sam, how's the podcast?" And those same people are the ones who weren't even supporting the pod. It's like, what kind of goofy shit is this? Not to mention, it is how it is. When you're in your hub, in your city, you're known as this person, right? Like you said, you're known as just Samuel or Andrew, whatever. But once you start growing your fan base, you're the stranger. It's kind of crazy to think about. It's the strangers who put you on top. Then once you're on top, then everyone wants to follow the trend and get on your back. Everyone follows Drake, right? And everyone loves Drake. I promise you, Drake was Aubrey Graham, and people thought he was corny and shit when he was starting out. But then once he blows up, then people follow the wave. So that's the biggest I think people gotta let go of. I mean, because I know the people around you, they're not really gonna support you, and even in your demeanor and the people you mess with. I was gonna ask you this as well. Obviously, some people, they might start forming collectives and stuff within their community. For you, that is St. Louis, but a lot of your clique, a lot of your crew is from out of state. it's from, from different areas. And is that because you think there's not a lot of collectivism in Missouri in terms of the hip hop scene? And also, is that difficult too to collaborate with these artists who are outside?
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of untapped like music scenes in St. Louis that I haven't, gotten the pleasure to like get into or see or anything. But man, it's really a me thing. I think I just haven't put myself out there enough. I work a lot from my little studio in my house. I don't do many shows. I don't do anything crazy like in the city. I don't even try to get involved. So it's really just a me thing. I have
Hmm.
social anxiety and stuff, and
Hmm.
especially with music. It's not like I'm like insecure about it or anything, but it's more so just I'm scared of being vulnerable, like putting myself out there,
Yeah.
like getting involved with a bunch of other rappers and a whole community of different type artists. Because I know from St. Louis, it's a lot of the like I guess they call it struggle rap, like
Hmm.
coming from the dirt, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Which is completely understandable. I mean, St. Louis is crazy, but man, I just don't know if I would fit in really.
Hmm.
Because Smino came out of St. Louis, and his sound is so different from anything you hear
Yeah.
Hmm.
in St. Louis. And man, obviously he got out of there immediately when he could. So just yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a me thing, really. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
me, myself getting in the way of myself, kind of. So
I think it's partly the reality of just like where music is at this point, that because we have the internet, that you are able to make these friends and socialize and find engineers and mixers and other rappers
mm,
online. That's not as important now to be like doing city stuff and open mic events where you can get opportunities from online. So I can completely see like
yeah,
why it's easier to make music in your room. It's also more fun, more comfortable, to be more
definitely,
experimental. So it's kind of hard to
definitely.
build up to people around you.
Yeah, dude. Like, I cannot imagine myself in like a studio full of people that I have never met.
Yeah.
And then being asked to rap. I mean,
Yep.
It's
And spreading
scary
the
as hell.
buzz.
I would, but like, I wouldn't want to. So
Yeah.
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 And then you mentioned your family, and one of my favorite songs in the album, probably is my favorite song, is Love is Easy. First off,
Hmm.
your storytelling is just, I just really like the way you write. And that's at the end of the day, that's how I fall for someone, just the way they phrase things. So you said, and she PO'd too. And like, I don't know, the way you say shit, it was really good. But what is that like having two kids or three kids? You're a third on the way.
I have two and a third on the way.
Third on the way.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep.
Uh, what is that like? And then also on the funnier side, what is it like writing some of those lines you got there with like the vasectomy line and just very self aware about
Hmm.
your duties.
Dude, yeah. It's amazing having kids, honestly. Before I had kids and stuff, I was real bad into, into like certain drugs and stuff. And like having my kids, it kind of deterred me. Like having
Mm-hmm.
my first kid, I was 15. Obviously, I wasn't ready, didn't know what to do, and just freaking out. But once he got here, all that went away. It like immediately changed me. So yeah, it's having one, and then me and my girl, we buy our house, and then we have another, and then now we're having another.
Mm.
I know people see parenthood as like some people, I know not everybody, but some people see it as like an inconvenience or dumb or why are you so young,
Mm-hmm.
having kids. Obviously, yeah, it's like not the smartest thing, but I mean, me and my girl are like two of the most driven people that I know in general. So it all works out. We live a beautiful life, dude. Like we do so much cool shit all the time. I don't know, man. Having kids is great. I love it. Personally, I just love it. I get my free time when I need it. So does she. And we have a really, really, really healthy dynamic for being young parents.
Mm-hmm. And your son's rapping.
Yeah, he loves to
Rapping his
rap.
ass off.
Passing off the baton. I caught that bar. That
Passing
was
the
so
torch.
clever. I
Yeah,
love
dude.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm glad you
Yep.
caught that, dude.
Mhm.
And then yeah, with the lines, dude. I just love to write, man. I love to write, and obviously my biggest influence is Wayne.
Yeah,
And he says some wild shit, like some
he
really
does.
outlandish.
I mean, I text you that newest song. He said something about like eating a girl off her period, and when he said that,
Yeah,
I'm like, I think Andrew said that literal.
yeah,
I think you've said something very similar.
yeah. I have.
Hey, goats think alike. Goats think
And
alike.
what I was saying to Sam is like your voice. I'm not sure if it's the voice or presentation. Like I couldn't say that. Maybe I could, but I don't. Maybe it's not the way I write. I love it when you when you talk
Dude,
like
yeah,
that.
like man, I love like even Money Shower, man. You know, I said some wild shit. You
Mhm.
know, go to Oklahoma,
Yeah, shoot a
beat a
Yeah,
white
yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I just love writing shit that's like has shock factor.
Mhm.
I like
And it's your own comedy in it, which I think
It's
is
refreshing.
it's a skill set to have that people don't know about. It's
right.
one thing to write just like braggadocious rap, but to
Mhm.
actually bring in like the movies you like and the pop culture you like and bring it into something. It's like, oh, I can tell what this guy's humor is like.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the pop culture stuff. Like, I love
Mhm.
throwing all like names out. I love name dropping, like book dropping, movie dropping, show dropping,
Johnny Depp.
everything, bro. I just love to write, dude. And you know, obviously, given my inspirations, I mean, kind of I just throw those weird
Yeah.
shock factor bars in sometimes. Yeah,
Who else do we got besides Wayne? Like, who are your top?
Kendrick, just Wayne and Kendrick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, there would be like songs here and there that I hear from like other artists, and I'm like, oh man, like I'm really inspired to make something. Like "Freestyle 29" by JID.
That's crazy.
That
beat.
song, yes, I had that on repeat for the longest time, and I remixed it, and that's when I made "Blind." I remixed "Freestyle 29" and then made "Blind" like back to back.
Really, that's sick.
And
Wow.
so yeah, that was like one time a different rapper, like Outbrand rapper, inspired me. But like my core inspirations are Wayne and Kendrick. Just two most talented artists ever to me. And yeah, I've just taken a lot. I've learned a lot from them. Those are the guys I envy. Like, oh man, they're just
Yeah.
so good, so good.
Like lyrically wise, I definitely see the Wayne inspiration, and then vocal inflection wise, definitely the Kendrick. But what else do you think you
Yeah.
get? What else do you get from Kendrick, or that you try to maybe emulate and put into your own stuff?
You trying to
Definitely
burn
like
Melly Mel, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, like some other stuff I've picked up from Kendrick. I will say a lot of things I implement in my mixes are derived from Kendrick stuff that I hear, and I'll like hear something and be like, "Oh, I want to do that." So I learn how to do it. Like on Damned If I Do, there's a lot of different songs where I do a lot of different weird mixing stuff that I learned because of listening to Kendrick. And then just the crazy flow pockets, being able to jump from one flow to another, like flawlessly type deal. Also,
You're
I picked
crazy
up
at
from
that.
Kendrick. Yeah, dude, thank you so much, man.
I was texting you some of these beats where the drums are just so obscure. Do you write to something else first? Do you write to nothing? Do you write to that beat? Like, I don't know how you would do it.
What's
Like,
the
what's your
writing
process?
Let's see here. My writing process, man. So I know you asked if I write to the beat, like with those weird ass drum beats, like Brenda's song. The answer would be not usually. I usually write it to something completely different.
That makes sense. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how many songs I have written to different beats and end up using
Wow.
a completely different beat. Like
hmm
countless, literally. Like I'll make a song to one of Stix beats, and then I'll send him. He'll be like, "Yo, send me the vocals. Just send me the vocals separate." And then he'll just take my vocals, make a completely new beat, just because.
That's crazy. Shout out to Stix.
Shout out to Stix. That's my dude.
Next time we'll get him on.
That's
Do a
my
double
brother,
interview.
man. I'll be with him in 2 weeks. I'm going to see JID and Smino in 2 weeks with him.
Hey, where at?
Wisconsin.
Oh, I think I'm seeing him in like 3 weeks in Cincinnati. That's like literally
really?
it's my dream show. Like those are my
Yeah.
two most listened to artists from this year. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yep.
First time meeting him?
No,
in
this
person?
is our second time actually.
Okay.
We met in Milwaukee. I'd say like 6 or 7 months ago to see Kendrick.
Hmm.
Um, we met up there, got a hotel, and just
Yeah.
pretty much went out and partied all night. We didn't really make music
As you should.
together. We
Yeah,
just kind of just
Hmm.
celebrated seeing each
that's
other.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yep, that's
Hey, man.
2 weeks. I'm excited.
Shout out to Stix, man. He did an incredible job on this project. And just to end it again, to just more aim towards the project, again, with how this project, I mean, of course, you always sprinkled in your life within your previous albums, but I feel like this album and even the cover art, that's your kids drawn, correct?
The cover is
Yep.
actually made by
Okay.
Vibes on Glass on Twitter.
Okay.
Um, Look him up. That's his is Vibes on Glass.
Hmm.
Your
Dude,
art's always sick.
dude gets
Hmm.
no love. Okay, so if you're seeing this,
Dude gets no love.
please go to his page, follow him. You know, like his
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
dude. He's incredibly
Hmm.
talented.
Yep.
Yeah, he made this. He also made one of my covers back then on my tape Blemish, but yeah, it's whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, super talented guy.
Yeah, shout to him, my BO. But
No,
yeah,
you
just
good.
how your kids, yeah, even your kids were incorporated into this project,
Hmm.
and just that vulnerable nature of exposing yourself and talking about that, even on the second to last track and a little bit into quotes.
Yeah.
Was it how hard was it to make this album? And also, do you think this is your best project to date?
Uh, no, this album was super easy to make. It was so much fun.
Wow.
So much fun. More fun than anything, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was smooth. Every song was just like boom bada bing, like done.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'd say the hardest part of the album was getting all the
Mm-hmm.
mixes right and
Mm-hmm.
coherent. Like on most of the songs, we got up to I think like mix 8 or 9 on most of
Mm-hmm.
them. That was our biggest thing that got in the way.
Stressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it was super easy, and yes, by far my best project, like by far.
It
Um,
sounds like the most fun you had making a project.
yeah, it was just
Mm-hmm.
beautiful time, super easy, and fun. It took us about 4 months to make in total.
Yeah, and let me tell you this, man. I don't gas up people for real. If I don't like your music, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Sam's a
But
hater.
I am a hater. If you know me, I'm a professional hater. That's my career path.
Yeah.
When I hear this, man, it makes me so happy. I remember I was in the car. I was bumping this in the car last week, and like it brought tears in my eyes, man. Because I hear this, and I'm like, you are doing exactly what Kendrick is doing, what GID is doing. It's just like you haven't been found yet, and it's just a matter of time. Even the mix, like I was hearing the mix, I'm like, man, this is so professional. This sounds like a man who knows exactly what he's doing, where he's going, and what he's aiming at. And Drew, this album is literally incredible. Everyone needs to tune into this.
Yeah.
Damned if I do.
Bro, I went
For
home
real.
and I made a song. Like, I needed the rap. I was telling you, every beat, I'm like, can this ride out the drums for like 10 seconds just so I can like freestyle something in my walk home? But bro, it's crazy. There's so many skill sets that the average rap, which makes sense, but like people don't appreciate the average rap fan, such as being able to change vocal inflections that fast, where it's not separate takes, it's you changing your voice and coming back and like doing that shit. And it's just such an underrated ability. So when I hear someone who's so flawlessly good at it, and then combine that with writing style and humor involved and storytelling, man, you're nice.
Thank
You're
you.
fucking nice at this
Thank
shit.
you guys, man. I really appreciate it, dude. You have no clue, man. I just love doing it. It's me, just regular old Andrew Kelly, man. I just love making rap music. That's just what I do. I just love to rap. And yeah, dude, it's hopefully everybody that listens to this goes and listens to this album because me and my brother Stix worked very hard on this. I know I said it's easy, but obviously, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. The only reason I say it's easy is because working with somebody that makes it easy for me.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
how I
just,
feel about Sam.
yep, just bounce off each other and just make things happen, dude. It's nice to have that counterpart, you know, that brother in this shit. So yeah, dude, it's I hope anybody that watches this goes and listens and appreciates what we did. I mean, even if you don't like the music, hopefully you can see that we put a lot into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clearly. And
Thank
before
you.
we close, is there any way that the audience can support you? Whatever you want to give out, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you all can hit me up, Andrew Kelly 747 on literally everything.
Yo, follow this man's Twitter. He says some crazy shit.
Yeah, if you want some good tweets, good comedy, yeah, just come hit me up on Twitter. Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything. You can find me Andrew Kelly 747. If you're looking on platforms to listen to my music, Andrew Kelly. I have a little discrepancy with Apple Music right now, changing my name back to Andrew Kelly on Apple. So it's still Drew Kelly on there. It was just
Apple, figure your shit. Come on.
I know, man. I've been trying to get it fixed for a few months now, but yeah, we're gonna get that fixed. But yeah, Andrew Kelly on everything. Even if you type Andrew Kelly in on Apple, it'll still pull up me, Drew Kelly. So yeah, just go listen to whatever, man. I got tastes of everything. Whatever hip hop you listen to, whatever subgenre you like, I got it. So just come hit, unless it's like dance. I don't really make dance music. But like if you,
Drake.
yeah,
no
whatever,
Drake, yeah.
whatever you want, man. I got it. So you just come tap in. Man,
Yeah.
we rap over here. That's what we do. So
Yep, you heard the guy, guys. Make sure you run that Damned If I Do out now everywhere on all streaming platforms. Thank you guys for tuning in. Andrew, appreciate you so much for coming through. Guys, the SoundCentric podcast, you know what's up, and we are out.
Peace.